from here that this z0 is equal to z2 pi, and this is same as r, complex number r. Complex number r means your circle is starting from this point with complex coordinate z is equal to r, a real coordinate r0, and you are taking a positively oriented curve and again reach to this point. And you can see this z to the power n, this function, this function uh, uh, for n positive, it is holomorphic. It is holomorphic along this curve, along this image of the curve, right? So if you put this z is equal to r e to the power I theta, and you can also write this dz is equal to I r e to the power I theta d theta. So what will happen here? So this z to the power n dz along this closed curve C is integral r to the power n e to the power n I theta and I r e to the power I theta d theta. And this theta lies between 0 to 2 pi. Now, along this closed circle, theta lies between 0 to 2 pi. Now you can take this r to the power n plus 1 outside, r to the power n plus 1 outside, right? And also you can take I outside, and 0 to 2 pi e to the power n plus 1 I theta d theta. So I r to the power n plus 1, and if you integrate, you will get this e to the power n plus 1 I theta divided by n plus 1 into I, and limit 0 to 2 pi, provided this n plus 1 is not equal to 0. Provided this n plus 1 not equal to 0. That is n not equal to minus 1. If n not equal to minus 1, then this is the integral. Now if you solve this integral for n plus 1 not equal to 0, in first case if you will solve, what will you get? So this integral z to the power n dz, this is equal to, along the circle C, is equal to I r n plus 1, and this e to the power 0 or e to the power even multiple of 2 pi I is equal to 1. You know, this e to the power even this 2 pi I, any integral multiple of 2 pi I m you can take it, and this is equal to 1. So the integral multiple of 2 pi and e to the power 0 both are 1, so simply 1 minus 1, denominator is n plus 1 I. So if n plus 1 is not equal to 0, in that case this is 0. So in first case, the value of this integral is equal to 0. But in second case, if this n is equal to minus 1, if you consider the case when n is equal to minus 1, in that case, this itself becomes e to the power 0. So it's 1. And if you integrate d theta, you will get theta. So in that case, this integral, so in the second case, this z to the power n dz along this C, or you can say this is 1 upon z dz, 1 upon z dz C, this is equal to, so when n plus 1 is equal to 0, so this r to the power 0 is 1, and from after integrating this d theta, you will get 2 pi. This is simply 2 pi I. 2 pi I. So this is very interesting that the value of this integral is equal to 0 if n is not equal to minus 1, and is equal to 2 pi I if n is equal to minus 1. So you can see here, although so for n positive, this z to the power n is holomorphic in this connected open set containing this curve, containing this circle. But if you take this n negative, besides this n is equal to -1, for instance, for n is equal to -2, -3, even for those point also, your function is not holomorphic at 0. Even then this integral equal to 0. So this is very interesting. हमने ये बताया आपको कि अगर ये फंक्शन होलोमॉर्फिक होता, इस पूरे रीजन में, इस कर्व को कंटेन करने वाले रीजन में होलोमॉर्फिक है, तो आप देखेंगे, हम ये प्रूव करेंगे, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट थ्योरम है, ये 0 हो जाएगा. तो उस रिजल्ट से 0 है, बट ये केवल एट दिस मोमेंट जस्ट ए रिमार्क एट although along this in this connected open set containing the image of the curve, this function is for n is equal to for n negative and not equal to -1, this function is not holomorphic. Even then the value of integral is 0. और जब n is equal to -1 है तब तो ठीक है, फंक्शन होलोमॉर्फिक भी नहीं है और उस समय इसकी वैल्यू जो है वो 0 के इक्वल नहीं है. ओके. So now before coming to the important result, जिसका ये कह सकते हैं कि एक हमने बेसिकली हम ये दिखाएंगे, जो मेन रिजल्ट हमारा है उसमें हम दिखाएंगे कि अगर कोई भी आप कर्व ले लीजिए, कोई कर्व इस तरह से क्लोज कर्व अगर आप ले लीजिए और वो किसी ऐसे कनेक्टेड ओपन सेट के अंदर कंटेन्ड है जिस ओपन सेट में फंक्शन आपका होलोमॉर्फिक है, देन द वैल्यू ऑफ द इंटीग्रल ऑफ द फंक्शन अलोंग दिस कर्व मस्ट बी 0. चाहे कोई भी फंक्शन, नहीं तो पॉलिनोमियल फंक्शन, आप कोई भी फंक्शन ले लीजिए, अगर उसको किसी क्लोज कर्व के अलोंग, चाहे आप ये सर्कल हो या कोई भी क्लोज कर्व ऐसा ले लीजिए, किसी भी क्लोज कर्व के अलोंग इंटीग्रेट करेंगे तो उसकी वैल्यू 0 होगी. तो हम लोग इसको प्रूफ करेंगे, लेकिन उससे पहले एक हम छोटा सा रिजल्ट बताना चाहेंगे और इस कॉल्ड एस्टिमेट of the integral. Cauchy estimate हम इसको कह सकते हैं. तो estimate और simply ML estimate भी इसको कई जगह लिखा गया है. Estimate of the integral. What it says that suppose a gamma be a piecewise C1 curve, gamma from AB to this complex plane be a piecewise C1 curve, means tangent is continuous, its derivative is continuous, and f is a complex valued function. Suppose this gamma is a curve like this, and f is holomorphic. F is holomorphic in a region containing this curve. Now suppose this capital M is the maximum value of this modulus Z along gamma. So you can write this Fz such that this Z belongs to the curve gamma or the image of the gamma. Yes, so you can say this is the image of the gamma. ये तो कॉम्प्लेक्स प्लेन में है, तो यहाँ पे जो f की वैल्यू, फंक्शन की वैल्यू है, उसमें m जो है वो मैक्सिमम है. कैपिटल M is the maximum of this modulus of the fz, right? You can also write like this. This is the maximum of this f, because for any point z on this image, you can write this f of gamma t, and such that this t lies between a and b, right? तो इस कर्व के along f की maximum value वो m. Then the value of integral this fz dz along gamma, so its modulus, the modulus of this integral cannot be bigger than this maximum value into the length of the gamma. So this is called the estimate, or in some book it is also written Cauchy estimate, Cauchy inequality, or ML inequality, also called ML inequality. So M means the maximum value of the function along curve, and L of gamma means the length of curve, length of the curve. So now proof is just one line proof, but it's very important result. This fz dz, modulus of this fz dz along gamma. So as I defined earlier, so this is equal to modulus of f of gamma t and gamma dash t dt, right? Modulus, maybe you can write modulus outside along this curve gamma, right? Now when you put this modulus inside, this is less than equal to so maybe you have already parameterized here, so it's better to write the limit in terms of t rather than this gamma. So you can write this t is equal to a to t is equal to b. So this is less than equal to a to b, and modulus of f gamma t and modulus of gamma dash t dt. But dt is some real change, small real change. But the maximum value of f gamma t is your m. So this is less than equal to m times a to b and gamma dash t dt. And you already know that this is the length of the curve. हमने बताया कि जब आप स्पीड को इंटीग्रेट करेंगे तो आपको किसी भी कर्व के लिए उसके स्पीड को इंटीग्रेट करेंगे तो आपको लेंथ मिलेगा. So this is equal to m into the length of the curve gamma. Is it okay to everybody?
Yes.
अगर किसी कर्व के अलांग, किसी कॉम्प्लेक्स वैल्यूड कर्व के अलांग, केवल उसके अगल बगल से कोई मतलब नहीं है, केवल इस कर्व पे उसकी मैक्सिमम वैल्यू किसी पॉइंट पे मिल जाए आपको m, और उस कर्व का लेंथ है l, तो उस कर्व के अलांग जो फंक्शन के इंटीग्रल की जो वैल्यू होगी उसका मॉडुलस अगर कैलकुलेट किया जाए, so that cannot be bigger than this m into l. Okay. So now I am coming to the one of the important result of, you can say, complex analysis, what is called Cauchy theorem. So it has several versions, Cauchy theorem. So starting from a very simple version of this Cauchy theorem, I will prove a little bit more general version. But there are other general version of this Cauchy theorem. So I'm not going in very detail, but let us suppose that this T be a triangle. So first I'm going to show you the Cauchy theorem for this triangle. So suppose T be a triangle in complex plane. T be a triangle in the complex plane, and suppose it is contained in an open set. It is contained in an open set. You can call this open set as U. So this triangle is contained in an open set, and f is a holomorphic function in this open set U. हमको चाहिए क्या कि इस ट्राइंगल को कंटेन करने वाले एक ओपन सेट में फंक्शन को होलोमॉर्फिक होना चाहिए. ठीक है, कोई भी फंक्शन f आप ले लीजिए, जब इस ट्राइंगल के अलांग आप इंटीग्रेट करेंगे तो कॉशी थ्योरम ये कहता है कि द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस इंटीग्रल अलोंग दिस ट्राइंगल t, दिस इज इक्वल टू 0. दिस इज इक्वल टू 0. तो ये जैसा कि हमने अभी वहां भी हम पहुंचेंगे, अभी सर्कल पे नहीं, ये केवल ट्राइंगल वर्जन में प्रूव करना चाहता हूं. सबसे पहले कि कोई भी ट्राइंगल अगर आप t ले लीजिए और इस ट्रायंगल को कंटेन करने वाले किसी ओपन सेट में अगर कोई फंक्शन आपका एफ होलोमॉर्फिक है तो उस फंक्शन के इंटीग्रल की वैल्यू इस ट्रायंगल के अलोंग निश्चित रूप से 0 होगी. So this is the triangle version of Cauchy theorem. So you can write. So let T be a triangle and triangle in C कह सकते हैं, in complex plane, and F is a holomorphic function in an open set containing this triangle T. ट्रायंगल T का मतलब ये ना समझिए कि केवल अगर कोई इस तरह का भी ट्रायंगल का मतलब तो केवल ये साइड होता है. तो आप ये भी सोच सकते हैं कि क्यों ना एक ये पोर्शन ले लें और ये पोर्शन ले लें, तो ये भी पोर्शन तो ओपन सेट है. दिस इज आल्सो ओपन सेट, राइट. ये भी एक ओपन सेट है. तो इतने ओपन सेट में अगर फंक्शन आपका होलोमॉर्फिक है तो काम चल जाएगा? नहीं, हमको पूरा एक, बल्कि आप इसको कनेक्टेड और इसको एक वर्ड आता है सिंपली कनेक्टेड भी होना चाहिए. तो सिंपली कनेक्टेड का मतलब है कि बीच में होल वगैरह नहीं होना चाहिए. बीच में कोई होल नहीं, जैसे इस तरह का होल नहीं चलेगा. तो यू नीड an open set containing this triangle, and you can also say that triangle with its interior. ये ट्रायंगल का इंटीरियर, ट्रायंगल और इसके इंटीरियर कंटेन करने वाले ओपन सेट में फंक्शन को होलोमॉर्फिक होना चाहिए. So this F should be holomorphic in an open set containing this triangle with its interior, containing the triangle with its interior. Then the value of this integral of f z along this triangle equal to 0. So this is the simplest version of Cauchy theorem. Simplest version कि कोई भी एक ट्रायंगल ले लीजिए और उस ट्रायंगल और उसके इंटीरियर को इंक्लूड करने वाले किसी ओपन सेट में फंक्शन अगर आपका होलोमॉर्फिक है तो उस ट्रायंगल के अलांग कोई भी फंक्शन, एनी फंक्शन यू टेक, उस पर कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं, बस फंक्शन को होलोमॉर्फिक होना चाहिए. Then its integral must be 0. So let us prove it. So for proof, so suppose, yeah, yes. So let us suppose this integral, इसका कुछ नाम ले लेते हैं. Suppose this I is equal to this integral f z dz, ठीक है, along this triangle T. अब हम क्या करते हैं, इसके पहले कि इसका हम प्रूफ आगे बढ़ाएं, दो स्मॉल कॉरोलरीज हम बताना चाहेंगे जो कि कर्व के लिए है. तो maybe you can write it here. Okay, so suppose gamma is a curve and f is holomorphic in a region containing the image of gamma, and say this gamma inverse is the curve in this reverse order. So suppose your curve start from gamma A to gamma B, this is gamma, then gamma inverse will start from gamma B and end to gamma A. ठीक है, जैसे अगर आप सर्कल को लीजिए तो अगर आप सर्कल को एंटी क्लॉकवाइज अगर आप यहाँ से स्टार्ट करेंगे तो ये आपका गामा है, और अगर इसी को क्लॉकवाइज ओरिएंटेशन में अगर आप इसको पैरामीटराइज करें तो उसको हम कहेंगे दिस इज द रिवर्स ऑफ द कर्व गामा. So in particular, if your gamma is a curve from a P to complex plane, its inverse is again a curve from AB to C, and it is defined like this: gamma inverse of T is equal to gamma, and maybe you can write A plus B minus T. So that when you are at A, from here you will start from gamma B, and when will you reach to parameter B, this is gamma A. So this gamma inverse will start from gamma B to gamma A. And then the value of this integral along this inverse curve is nothing but the minus of this fz dz. Minus of fz dz along this curve gamma. So this is one remark. And the second remark, suppose maybe I can write it here and we'll start proof in the next slide. So this is remark 1. This is remark 1. And suppose gamma 1 and gamma 2 be two curves. So suppose this is your gamma 1 curve from this point to this point, and gamma 2 is another curve from this point to this point. Say this is your A, this is B, this is C. So this is your gamma 2, right? And gamma is a curve which is the composition of the two curves, like this, starting from A to B and B to C. So this gamma is gamma 1 union gamma 2. So the value of integral along gamma must be equal to value of integral along gamma 1 and plus value of integral along gamma 2. So these two are very trivial results which you can prove very easily. So I leave it as an exercise to complete the proof of these two remarks. But I will use these two remarks in the proof of the Cauchy theorem. Okay. So here, what I am going to do, I am just joining the middle point of the triangles, right? I'm just joining the middle point of triangle to make four equal triangles, four triangles. So you may call as T1, T2, T3, T4. So at initial level, suppose this T is simply maybe T0 you can denote. So let us write, start from here, T01, T02, T03 and this is T04. इस तरह से चार ट्रायंगल में इसको हम डिवाइड करें, लेकिन ध्यान दें T01 having orientation, having this anti-clockwise orientation, so like this. So this is your T01 and T04. Maybe you can also write this orientation with this orientation and this. This is your T04 and this orientation. Similarly, for T02, you just orientate this triangle along this. For T03, this orientation. Always you prefer this anti-clockwise orientation as positive orientation. Now, if you integrate the function f along these four triangles, what will you get? So suppose I am integrating along this triangle, plus this triangle, plus this triangle, plus this triangle, plus this triangle. So all these four triangles. So what is the value of the fz dz along this T0j, and the sigma j varies from 1 to 4. If you integrate along these four triangles, you see this side will come in the two triangle, once in this direction, and when you integrate along T04, it will come along this direction. And now you can use this result that the integral of fz along gamma inverse is equal to minus times integral of fz along gamma. So therefore, it will be cancelled out. So if you sum the function, the value of the integral along all these four triangles, you will get exactly the integral of the function along this side plus this side. But again, you can use this result so that it becomes the integral of the function along this full side, and then along this full side, and along this full side. So therefore, this is nothing but this fz along t. So the integral of fz along t. Is it okay to everybody? इस ट्राइंगल टी के अलोंग जो इंटीग्रल होगा उसको हमने चार जो ट्राइंगल में डिवाइड किया उनके साइड्स के अलोंग जब हम इंटीग्रेट कर रहे हैं with positively oriented triangles, then we'll get the same integral. Is it okay? ठीक है ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I'm rewriting here that this fz along this bigger triangle T dz, this is nothing but the sum of fz, sum of the integrals along this T0j, and j varies from 1 to 4. Right. Now, there is at least, suppose there is a j such that, its integral fz dz along this T0j, right? ये चार ट्राइंगल्स हैं, तो इनके along इंटीग्रल का जो मॉडुलस होगा, राइट, कम से कम एक j ऐसा जरूर होगा जिसके लिए इसकी वैल्यू ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू मॉड I अपॉन 4. राइट? आप लोग एग्री कर रहे हैं कि नहीं इससे? ऐसा तो नहीं कि चारों के अलोंग, हम कह रहे हैं एटलीस्ट वन जे होगा जिसके लिए इसकी वैल्यू ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि चारों के लिए इसकी वैल्यू लेस देन इक्वल टू मॉड I अपॉन 4. अगर मान लीजिए कि चारों की वैल्यू लेस देन I अपॉन 4 होगा, तो जब चारों को ऐड करेंगे तो उसकी वैल्यू I से लेस हो जाएगा, बट दैट इज नॉट द फैक्ट. दिस I इज एक्चुअली, I जो है वो fz along t के इंटीग्रल की वैल्यू है, राइट? तो चूंकि इन चारों का सम इस इंटीग्रल I के इक्वल है, तो 3 हो सकता है कि उसकी वैल्यू I अपॉन 4 से छोटा हो, लेकिन कम से कम एक ऐसा होगा जिसकी वैल्यू या तो I अपॉन 4 के इक्वल होगी या उससे अधिक होगी. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि चारों की वैल्यू I अपॉन 4 से, मॉड I अपॉन 4 से छोटा हो. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. अगर ऐसा होगा, जब ऐड करेंगे तो I टोटल का जो सम होगा वो I से छोटा हो जाएगा, और ऐसा है नहीं, बिकॉज दिस इज एक्जैक्टली इक्वल टू द वैल्यू ऑफ इंटीग्रल along t. So at least one j you will get such that the modulus of this integral along that particular triangle is greater than or equal to. ऐसा हो सकता है ना, चारों इक्वल हो तो ठीक है, इक्वल है तो भी अच्छी बात है, हमने इक्वलिटी लिया ही है. चारों लेस देन नहीं हो सकता है, कम से कम एक ऐसा होगा जिसके along इंटीग्रल की वैल्यू जो है वो मॉड I अपॉन 4 से बिगर होगी. इज इट ओके टू एवरीबॉडी? एटलीस्ट वन you will get. ओके. और जो वन वो मिल रहा है उस ट्राइंगल को हम T1 कह देंगे. पहले वाले में T को हमने T0 कहा था, और फिर उसको T0 ट्राइंगल को हमने चार ट्राइंगल में T01, T02, T03, T04 में डिवाइड किया, और फिर उसके बाद उसमें से हमने एक उस ट्राइंगल को पिक किया जिसके अलॉन्ग इंटीग्रल की वैल्यू मॉड I अपॉन 4 से के इक्वल या उससे बिगर है. सो नाउ वी चूज सच ए j फॉर विच द वैल्यू ऑफ इंटीग्रल ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू मॉड I अपॉन 4. तो जो ट्राइंगल आपको जो भी मिलेगा, ये मानिए T0j मिल गया आपको, ये ट्राइंगल है T0j, इसको हमने कह दिया T1. अब फिर इसको हम 4 ट्राइंगल में डिवाइड करेंगे, सिमिलर प्रोसेस, बाय सिमिलर प्रोसेस, राइट? सिमिलर प्रोसेस, एंड यू विल गेट 4 ट्राइंगल्स T1j आपको मिलेगा, T11, T12, T13, T14. ठीक. और फिर उसमें आप ये देखेंगे जब आप सम करेंगे तो इस T1 के अलॉन्ग जो इंटीग्रल की वैल्यू होगी वो इन चारों के सम के इक्वल होगा, और उसमें से एक आपको ऐसा जरूर मिलेगा जिसके अलॉन्ग इंटीग्रल की वैल्यू इस T1 के अलॉन्ग इंटीग्रल की वैल्यू अपॉन 4 के इक्वल या उससे बिगर होगा, राइट? So maybe you call this equation as equation number 1. So at least one j we can obtain such that this one is satisfied. 1 is satisfied. And call that T0j as inverse. Now again divide T1 in four triangles by joining their midpoints, and at least one j again you will get. So you can nominate them by T1j, T11, T12, T13, T14. So four triangles T1j, j lies between 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And call. So we pick one j for which this fz dz along that particular T1j is greater than equal to mod I upon 4 square. Is it okay? फिर उसको हमने ऐसा चूज किया जो I upon 4 के इक्वल या बिगर हो, और फिर उस पर्टिकुलर T1j को हम T2 कह देंगे। फिर उस T2 को हम चार ट्रायंगल में बांटेंगे और फिर उसमें से हम एक पर्टिकुलर j को सिलेक्ट करेंगे जिसके इंटीग्रल की वैल्यू mod I upon 4 क्यूब से अधिक हो। एंड वी कंटिन्यू दिस प्रोसेस। तो इन दिस वे पहले आपको T0 मिला था, फिर उसके बाद T1 मिला, इसके बाद हमको इसी तरह से T2 मिलेगा। तो सिमिलरली we call that particular T1j as T2, and we again construct four triangles T2j, and we select particular T2j for which the integral greater than equal to mod I upon 4 cube, and you just nominate that particular T2j as T3. So in this way you will get a sequence of triangle Tn. In this way you will get sequence of triangle Tn, n is equal to 1 to infinity, right? And what are the properties of those triangles? So each triangle is contained in this previous triangle. So in this way you get a sequence of triangles. So in this way we get a sequence of triangle. In this way we get a sequence of triangles, this Tn, such that this T0 is T0 contains this T1, T1 contains T2, T2 contains T3, dot dot and so on, right? ये आपका बड़ा ट्रायंगल है, ये आपका T0 है, फिर ये मान लीजिए हो सकता है इसमें कोई एक, पता नहीं कौन सा है, लेकिन कोई एक होगा जो आपका T1 हो जाएगा, आप इसको मान सकते हैं। फिर इसको आपने चार भागों में बांटा, फिर उसमें कोई एक आपका मान लीजिए T2 हो गया, फिर इसको चार भागों में आपने बांटा। तो इस तरह से आप देख रहे हैं T1 जो है वो T2 से बड़ा है, T2 जो है वो T3 से बड़ा है। तो इस तरह से एक डिक्रीजिंग सीक्वेंस आपको मिल गया, राइट? सो यू गेट अ डिक्रीजिंग सीक्वेंस, right? And also this fz dz along this triangle Tn, modulus of this, जब आपने इसको आपने T2 कहा है, इस पर्टिकुलर T1j को आपने T2 कहा है, तो T2 के along जो इंटीग्रल की वैल्यू है, that is mod I upon 4 square bigger than equal to mod I upon 4 square. So in a similar way, if you integrate along this Tn, its modulus greater than equal to mod I upon 4 to the power n, right? So this will be greater than equal to 4 to the power mod I upon 4 to the power n, right? And also you can observe that the length of this triangle Tn, right? What is this? So in first case you see, so suppose this is your T or T0. T0 is equal to actually T, right? So you are just joining the midpoint. So the length of this smaller triangle, say suppose this is your T1, so what is its length? Because you are joining midpoint, तो इसका लेंथ जो है वो इसके इक्वल हो गया, ये चूंकि मिड पॉइंट को ज्वाइन किए हैं तो इस ट्रायंगल फार्मूले से चूंकि ये दोनों लाइन पैरेलल होंगी और इसका लेंथ इसका आधा हो जाएगा और इसका भी मिड पॉइंट है यानी ये इसका आधा है. सो देयरफॉर द length of this T1 is exactly equal to 1/2 length of T. So at nth level, the length of Tn must be equal to 1/2 to the power n length of T for each n. For each n. Is it okay to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now, so let us denote. So instead, because for this T0 T1, T0 T1, maybe I should say something more instead of T0 T1. आप एक दूसरा नोट, क्योंकि T0 contained in T1, T0 contained in T1, जैसे T0 आपका ये बड़ा ट्रायंगल है, तो एज ए ट्रायंगल एंड सपोज दिस इज योर T1, तो T1 ट्रायंगल आपका है, बट एक्चुअली आई वांट दैट अ ट्रायंगल टुगेदर विद इट्स इंटीरियर. यहाँ तो लेंथ आपने केवल ट्रायंगल का निकाला है, लेकिन यहाँ मैं जो ये कंटेनमेंट की बात मैं करना चाह रहा हूँ, दिस कंटेनमेंट इज नॉट ओनली फॉर दिस ट्रायंगल मीन्स दिस एजेज, नॉट द इंटीरियर. तो या तो ट्रायंगुलर डिस्क पूरा आपका है, दिस ट्रायंगुलर डिस्क, या आप इसको ऐसे कह लीजिए, यू कैन डिनोट दिस Kn as this Tn and union its इंटीरियर ऑफ Tn. अगर इस ट्रायंगल और उसके इंटीरियर को मिला करके आप एक नोटेशन आप दे दीजिए Kn, then it's better to write this K0 contained in K1, contained in K2, contained in K3, and so on. So I think it's better to write this symbol for this Kn instead of T0 T1. So I'm writing here for K0. I'm replacing this T by K, right? क्योंकि T0 T1 से थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन ऐसा हो सकता है कि साहब वो ट्रायंगल तो नहीं कंटेन्ड है, क्योंकि आप ये कह सकते हैं ये साइड तो बड़े वाले साइड में कहीं कंटेन्ड है नहीं. तो ट्रायंगल एज ए ट्रायंगल थोड़ा सा कहना उतना सही नहीं लग रहा है, लेकिन अगर आप उसके इंटीरियर को साथ इंक्लूड कर लीजिए तो फिर आपका ये कहना बिल्कुल सही होगा. So it's better to write instead of this Tn, write Kn. So this K0 contain this K1, K1 contain K2, K2 contain K3, and contain Kn. Is it okay to everybody? आप लोग इसको समझ रहे हैं कहने क्यों मैंने इसको K0 में बदल दिया, K0 K1 में बदल दिया? हम इसका इंटीरियर भी चाह रहे हैं. ट्रायंगल का मतलब केवल ये बाउंड्री होता है, ठीक है ना, बाउंड्री. से यहाँ लेंथ ऑफ Tn हमने कैलकुलेट किया, तो लेंथ ऑफ Tn का मतलब केवल लेंथ ऑफ द बाउंड्री, बट आई नीड दिस इंटीरियर आल्सो. अदरवाइज कैसे आप कहेंगे कि ये T1 जो है वो अपने इंटीरियर के साथ इस T में कंटेन्ड है, इट्स कंटेन्ड हियर. इज इट ओके? ठीक है ना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं किसी को है?
यस सर, ठीक.
ओके. सो अब यहाँ पे आप देखें ये जो Kn सेट is the union of triangle means boundary and its interior, so therefore is a compact set. The compact set. So for each n this Kn is compact. For each n, so you have a sequence of compact set, and in some sense it's a decreasing sequence of compact set. Decreasing sequence का मतलब as a set theoretic decreasing means the previous set contains the coming set, preceding sets. So you can symbolically you can write for each n this Kn contains Kn plus 1, right? And a decreasing, so you have a decreasing sequence of compact set. So do you remember any theorem for such kind of sets, decreasing sequence of compact sets?
Intersection theorem.
Huh? Yes, you're right. Yes. Can you repeat what you were saying?
The Cantor's intersection
Very good,
theorem.
very good, very good, very good, very good. That I wanted to listen from you.
The
So you can use this
पूरा same ही है almost.
हाँ?
Proof भी
क्या
तो
बोल रहे
पूरा same ही है almost.
पूरा क्या है?
उसका प्रूफ भी तो इसी तरह ही होता था.
Exactly. तो अभी फिलहाल हम केवल इसको इस कैंटर्स इंटरसेक्शन थ्योरम को यूज हम करना चाहते हैं। तो हमने केवल ये जो भी अभी तक फार्मूलेशन हमने किया वो केवल हम कैंटर्स इंटरसेक्शन थ्योरम का जो कंक्लूजन है उसको हम यूज करना चाहते हैं। बेसिकली इन दिस इंटरसेक्शन देयर इज अ पॉइंट, इन दिस इंटरसेक्शन देयर इज अ यूनिक पॉइंट, राइट? So
Yes.
the Cantor's intersection theorem says, Cantor's intersection theorem says, that in this intersection of Kn, n is equal to 1 to infinity, this is a single point, you may call that point. So this is a singleton set, that is, you may call as Z0, right? So this Z0 may lie on the boundary of T or in its interior. T जो है आपका बड़ा वाला सबसे बड़ा ट्रायंगल है. So this T Z0, then this intersection Kn is equal to Z0, and this Z0 may lie on T or in its interior, right? ओके तो और इस ट्रायंगल को कंटेन करने वाले एक ओपन सेट, कोई ओपन सेट U है जहां पे फंक्शन आपका होलोमॉर्फिक है। इसका मतलब इस Z0 पे भी निश्चित रूप से फंक्शन आपका होलोमॉर्फिक होगा, राइट? तो सपोज Z0 इज सम पॉइंट हियर एंड योर फंक्शन इज होलोमॉर्फिक एट दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट, राइट? सो नाउ you can use the definition of differentiability, complex differentiability. So since Z0 is a point either on T or in its interior, it must be inside this open set where the function is holomorphic. So therefore, in its interior, and therefore, this F is holomorphic at Z0. Holomorphic at Z0. So now you can use this expansion or differentiability, the property of differentiability. So this Fz can be written as, or Fz minus Fz0 can be written as this F dash Z0 into Z minus Z0 and plus some remainder term, which is a function of Z, such that when you take the limit Z tending to Z0, this Rz upon Z minus Z0, if you take the limit Z tending to Z0 is equal to 0, right? Okay, so you can also write this Fz as this Fz0 and plus F dash Z0 and Z minus Z0 and plus this Rz. Right. Okay. So Z0 is a point here, or you have assumed here is the point Z0. Okay, and this is contained in all Kns. Okay. Now, if you integrate this Fz along, suppose, nth triangle, what will you get? So if you integrate this Fz along the triangle Tn, say I want to integrate this along the triangle Tn. Fz0 plus F dash Z0, Z minus Z0, say, and plus I am integrating this Rz along this Tn. Okay. What will you get? What can you say about this? This is some fixed complex number. And this is Fz0, and this is just Z minus Z0. And you are integrating along a closed curve Tn. आप इस Tn के along integrate कर रहे हैं. Tn कोई triangle है, T1, T2, T3, क्योंकि सभी के अंदर आपका ये Z0 है. and you are integrating this linear function along this closed curve. What will you get? Zero. Are you getting? This is just constant function. fz0 बाहर हो गया, यहाँ f dash z0 भी बाहर हो जाएगा. आप केवल z minus z0 को इंटीग्रेट करेंगे. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the integral of this thing is going to be 0. And you only remain with this integral of rz, this remainder term, dz along this t. Okay. But you know, you can use this result. This integral of fz dz is greater than equal to mod I upon 4 to the power n. That is, this modulus of I is less than equal to 4 to the power n times this integral. And this is exactly equal to the integral of this remainder term. And therefore, you can write here, this modulus of I is less than equal to 4 to the power n times, 4 to the power n times, and integral of this remainder term dz along this Tn. Right? Okay. So again, I am rewriting it. This modulus of I is less than equal to 4 to the power n, and modulus of this rz dz and along this triangle T. Okay. आप लोगों का क्लास तो नहीं है ना आज 12 बजे से? हेलो, do you have any class at 12?
सर मालूम नहीं है सर अभी
तो नहीं सर, अभी कोई नोटिफिकेशन नहीं आई है.
Okay, okay. So, okay. So let us finish it. It will take a few more minutes, maybe 5 more minutes. Okay. So now suppose this epsilon n. So let this epsilon n denotes the maximum of this denotes the maximum of this rz upon z minus z0 in this triangle Tn minus z0. Right? Then this epsilon n, when limit n tending to infinity, this will equal to 0. Why this is so? Why this epsilon n, a limit n tending to infinity is equal to 0? In fact, for each z in Tn. Yes. You see here, what is your rz? This is your rz. Rz, z minus z0. When z approaching z0, right, this is equal to 0, right? So the maximum of this value when z tending to z0 will approach to 0 because this is equal to 0. Rz upon z minus z0, this is actually equal to 0 when z is very, very close to z0. Now, by continuity of this rz upon z minus z0, when you will very, very close to, because your point is supposed here, and at this particular point its value is 0. So when this epsilon n, which is the maximum of this value in this triangle Tn, this Tn is very, very close to, you can say, this point Z0. So for any point on this triangle Tn, for any point Z on this triangle Tn, the in limiting case, maybe you can show by epsilon delta definition that how this epsilon n is equal to 0. So maybe I am leaving this to show clearly. So this is an exercise to show via epsilon delta definition, to show with the help of epsilon delta definition, right? Okay. Then what? So this modulus of Rz, is less than equal to, I'm just first writing and then we'll explain. Is less than equal to this epsilon n times the diameter of this Tn, and this is less than equal to this epsilon n into length of this Tn, and therefore the value of this integral Rz dz along this Tn, this will be less than equal to this epsilon n and length of Tn into length of Tn, that is length of Tn whole square, and this is simply epsilon n upon 4 to the power n into length of T whole square. And therefore, this modulus of I is less than equal to epsilon n times length of T whole square. And now since this epsilon n tending to 0, this I must be 0. So for taking limit n tending to infinity, this I must be 0. So this is the desired. So let us now I'm explaining from here. Okay. So what is this Rz? The maximum value of this Rz upon Z minus Z0 is epsilon n. So epsilon n is, this is the maximum value of this. So therefore this modulus of Rz is less than equal to epsilon n into this Z minus Z0. And Z, so means 2 points inside this triangle. So the maximum value of Z minus Z0 is the maximum of 2 points inside this triangle. That is what you may call the diameter of Tn. Diameter of Tn means, suppose this is your triangle. So the maximum distance between any 2 points is called the diameter. तो मान लीजिए यहाँ पॉइंट है और यहाँ पॉइंट है, जिसका भी मैक्सिमम डिस्टेंस हो, आइडिया वही सर्कल से ही है. कोई अगर डिस्क ले लीजिए तो उसका डायमीटर क्या है, इसके दो ऐसे पॉइंट के बीच का डिस्टेंस जो मैक्सिमम दैट इज द डायमीटर. So here also the diameter is the maximum distance between any 2 points in the triangle. So that justifies this condition because this epsilon n is the maximum of this Rz upon Z minus Z0. So therefore this modulus of Rz is epsilon n times the diameter of Tn. But diameter of Tn, इसका diameter क्या हो किसी triangle का, वो इसके perimeter से तो कम ही होगा. So therefore this is less than equal to epsilon n into length of the T. उसका जो पूरा perimeter है, जो length है, उससे कम ये quantity होगी. And therefore if you integrate this Rz dz and you use the ML inequality, the maximum value of Rz is epsilon n times diameter of Tn, length of Tn. So epsilon n times length of Tn from this, and the length of Tn again you right here. So this is from ML inequality. This is from ML inequality. ML inequality. And now this length of Tn, you know, this is 1 upon 4 to the power n into length of T. I think it is 2 to the power n. Yes, 2 to the power n. So therefore, when you square it, you will get 4 to the power n length of T square. And therefore this, you use this result. So modulus of I is nothing but 4 to the power n cancel out, and epsilon n into length of T square. But because this epsilon n tending to infinity is equal to 0, so therefore this integral must be 0. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and
Yes, sir.
therefore, if you take any triangle, and you integrate along this triangle for a holomorphic function in a region containing this triangle, it must be 0. So our next turn will show that it's not only along any triangle. In fact, if you take any convex region, if you take not this region, you take any convex region, this type of region, maybe this type of region you can take, right? Any convex region you can take, right? You can make a region into convex. So if you take any convex region means any 2 points, if you take in this region and you just draw a line segment joining 2 points, this line, the whole line must lie in the region. So this is not a convex region, because if you take a point here, this is not convex. It is not completely lie in the region. So this is not convex. This is convex, this is convex, this is convex. So if you take any convex region, and you'll see that you take any closed curve in this convex region, and if the function is holomorphic, its integral must be 0. So we'll prove on next turn the Cauchy theorem for convex region and some more results. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.